So hello and welcome back to my channel. This is one of my most requested videos and I'm going to need my glasses for this one so I can see what I'm doing, and a cup of tea. How very English. In this video I'm going to talk about how much I made on YouTube in my first month as a YouTube partner, monetized. It's some information that everyone wonders: how much do YouTubers get paid? How many views get you how much money? So we're going to explore and unpack all that. So what we're going to do is go over to the YouTube account. I'm going to have to log in over here. I'm going to get the screen pop up in a second. Here's the screen. You should see that now. This is my channel, Elliot Recommends. So this is where I've been uploading videos to YouTube, predominantly gaming videos, but some toys and other things as well. And obviously in the last, in July, so it was July the 4th that I became a YouTube partner. And from that moment onwards, we started getting some ad revenue via an AdSense account. So let's look at this now. So if we go into the channel analytics, we can see here, this was the day that I become monetized, so Monday the 4th. It suddenly dropped here, and I did think initially that that was because of monetizing and that suddenly they weren't going to recommend my videos anymore. I'm not sure that's the case. I think maybe it was just a change in weather. There was a big heat wave and so everyone was out and about. I think that was probably the case. But this is the views that I got over the first month of July. So we got 43,900 views. So if we look a bit more into those views, we can see where these views are coming from. So let's explore the views and we'll move on to how much these views transferred into money. So we've got quite a few views here, obviously, on the July the 4th. Then we've got a big dip, but we've still got a substantial amount of views coming through. We'll see that most of the views are actually coming from this water gun video that I uploaded, the best water gun in 2022 to get. So the most powerful. It was a fun video and obviously did very well. The second one is also the water pistol video. So you can imagine in the height of summer and the sort of things that people are searching for, it just seemed to hit at the right time. And then we get into the board game type videos and what they're going to generate in revenue. So I'm obviously hiding the revenue stream at the moment because I want to move on to that and we'll move through the video and how we got there, but we'll come back to that. But just to show you the percentage of how much each of these videos are contributing to the channel. This one here is obviously the most viewed of the board game type videos, at 1,710 views in that month. And then we've got a couple of others before we get to the other game videos, and then a couple more, and then a few more game videos. So this was early on. I hadn't done too many game videos at this point. So in the month of July, game videos weren't really contributing too much in terms of views. And so the main revenue stream really is coming from the water gun, but at least from that we can see how many views you would need to get and what that transfers into. Now the reason that I think that the water gun views are similar in terms of what you would get per click is particularly because the cost of a water gun is very similar to the cost of, say, a board game or something of that nature. Generally what I've found is when the type of content you put on converts into how much you get per click. So for example, if you're reviewing Bentley cars, when someone clicks on that advert, and the percentage of sale that comes back from that particular advert is going to be a lot more than if you're reviewing biro pens that cost about 50p. When one person clicks on that and buys a pen, you're not going to get as much. So it's comparative in terms of what's on your channel and what you're going to get in return for each of those types of videos. So obviously my time was spent there on those water gun videos. They did quite well. I actually planned that video over the course of about a year. It was a video that I wanted to make for some time. I love water guns and water fights, and so for me it was a passion project and something I wanted to do, very much so. Traffic sources sort of tells you where it all comes from. So we can see that the YouTube search, so when people are searching on YouTube, this comprises of 18,601 views. Browse features, so when people are sort of seeing the other channels or just scrolling through news feeds and things like that, I think that's where that comes from. So that accounts for 12,000. So we're getting quite a lot of new traffic without having to do much work there. Suggested videos is also a good one. So this is when someone's on a video and then sees the videos down the side as suggested to that video, and people click on those. So we get almost just over 9,000, so 9,120 views for that one. And then as we go through, we've got other examples. Direct traffic. External is the direct traffic, so when I've posted the link out or someone else has shared the link and people have come directly from other websites, that accounts for 2,000 of the 43,000, so not a massive amount. So we're mainly relying here then on YouTube's ability to promote the video themselves, and this is where the most of the traffic comes from. So the question is, how are we generating the interest from YouTube in wanting to promote our video? What are we doing that is reaching those additional numbers? Do they just pick at random, or is there something we're doing on the channel, on the videos, that makes these videos particularly worth suggesting to other people? So in July, of the 43,000 views, we had 2,700 watch hours. And this is predominantly for the water gun videos again. We've got a few card game ones, how to make your own card games, got a few views, Monopoly Deal ones. So Monopoly Deal was obviously quite a sought after video. A lot of people search for those, so we did quite well on the views there. But again, not a lot from board games at this point. And then in terms of subscribers, we increased 85 subscribers in that month. So let's get on to the revenue. This is the big question that we're looking for. So we want to see how much we made on 43,000 views, 2,700 watch hours, and 85 new subscribers in the month of July. Okay, so the moment of truth. What did I actually make in July in my first month for those views and subscribers in 2022? Here we can see I made £89.07. So not a huge amount, but still quite a nice little addition to any earnings that you're making that month. A nice little side hustle. £100 a month, or almost £100 a month, goes a long way. It's basically, you know, a good lot of shopping for a week. So that's great, particularly if you have a family to provide for. £89 is not to be sniffed at all. So looking at this here, so we've got the estimated revenue. What I actually took was, there was still £30 left in my AdSense account from years and years ago. So my actual first payment was £120, so that was quite nice. But £89.07 for those views. Now, we've got RPM here. Now, what this refers to is the amount that you will likely get per 1,000 views. So not the amount that you're going to get that's clicked on or that's monetized, but simply over 1,000 views in that month, you're looking at £2.03 per 1,000 views. You've also got your playback based CPM. So these are the ones that are effective. So when someone clicks on it or views the whole video, that sort of thing, then you're going to get £5.93 per each of those per 1,000 effective ones. So the actual amount that you get is somewhere between these two. So we can see here on our first day, we took £4.26, and it varies between £5.35 and £2.47 per day. The amount of views we're getting each day obviously fluctuates, but we can see here that we've got a few nice little peaks when new videos are uploaded. So obviously putting content is important consistently for sort of building up content. But that was the first month of July. So let's move over then to see how that did and if that carried over into August. So if we change to August, we can see in August it dropped a little bit. So we made £79.70. The CPM has gone up, so the amount that we're making per 1,000 views has gone up to £2.82, and the CPM, what was that in July again? So that has dropped a little bit, I'm guessing, because we're not doing so many water gun videos. Now the water gun views have dropped, but on average, I'd say that's probably about right. The average person spending the average amount on a water pistol, you know, what they're going to spend, and it's pretty comparative, I think, to board games and what board gamers are likely to spend. But if we look at these views and how they're coming through, so I did a lot more video games sorry, not video games, board games in that month of August. We can see that the revenue is pretty steady throughout. But if we look at the overview and the views, so we've got 28,000 views in that month of August. The watch time hours were 1,700 hours. And if we look at the best viewed videos in the month of August, we can see that the board game ones are starting to come up a little bit more. We can see Monopoly Deal has done quite well. The How to Create Your Own Card game in 2022 has done fairly well. And then the best board game cafe in the UK has done very well. So that wasn't uploaded right until the end of August, and yet it's doing extremely well. I think one of the reasons for that, if we click on it and we look at the views, so this point here where we see this peak, this video is actually posted as a video of the week on the Board Game Geek website. So as a result of that, it's given us a bit of a boost, but over its lifetime, we can see that it's made £2.29. So not a huge amount of money over that time, but let's look at a typical board game video and what a board game video might make over the course of a month. So if we look at, let's use the Monopoly Deal one as an example, because we've got in excess of 1,000 views on that month, so that's good. So on its lifetime of 6,000 views, 6.7 thousand views, we've made £6.10. So works out to approximately £1 per 1,000 views. So one of the things I've noticed as well in terms of how much a particular video is going to make is what is the content of that video. So not simply what you're doing a video about, so whether it's a Bentley car or a biro pen, but what is the content of that particular product. So for example, in the Monopoly Deal video that's done quite well, it's how to hack Monopoly Deal. Now typically speaking, the type of person looking at this video isn't someone that's going to buy the game. It's typically someone that's already got it and they're looking for tips and tricks of how to play it. So people aren't typically going to click on an advert to buy something because they're not on YouTube looking to buy something. They're looking for information for something they've already bought. So the cost per click that you're going to get for that particular video or the particular adverts on that particular video is going to be a lot lower than, say, if I was promoting a product and saying it's out now, you can buy it, here's where you can buy it from. So the overall amount that you're going to make per 1,000 views is going to be more on videos where people are going somewhere to look to buy something than it is from people that are going on YouTube just for information for a product they've already got. But we can compare that to other board games, other videos, all that sort of stuff, of what you might expect a typical board game YouTube to earn. Some of the games, obviously some channels have hundreds of thousands of views per month and could be relatively lucrative, so it's not too bad. But as a side hustle, you know, if it's something that you're doing as a passion project and stuff, £100 a month certainly isn't to be sniffed at. But we can see how this then develops over the course of that time. So let's go back to the overall analytics. We've got August and we've got September is ongoing, but so far in September it's been 6 days and we've made £11.66. So as new content goes up, obviously that's going to change and reshape the way things are looking. So the best board game cafe again in the last 6 days has been our second to top most watched video. So it's doing quite well. And we can see board games are coming in a little bit more. The Glorious Wrestling Alliance is a recent upload, so 31st of August, so the last 6 days we've had 66 views and the revenue hasn't even fluctuated, hasn't even showed yet. So typically you might be asking yourself, well, why bother making videos, why bother making review videos of new games that are coming out, because they're not really bringing in any revenue. It's only the existing game like Monopoly Deal or talking about my own game that's got any kind of views, and even they're not doing a lot of money in revenue, ad revenue. It's more water guns and other things. So you might be asking, why bother doing these reviews? Now, for me, I love board games, and I'm doing the reviews simply because I enjoy board games and I like to play them, and I like to support other people in their endeavours as well. And obviously, where I'm making my own board game, it's important for me to build links and in the hope that someone might want to share my board game. Now, I don't have massive ad revenue to be paying these big channels, these huge, hundreds and thousands of pounds channels to be reviewing my game. So in the hope I can send out a copy and other people might want to review mine. So, by offering to do that for other people, I think it increases the chance that people might want to offer that for me and save me a bit of money in the future. So that's really what it looks like. In addition to that, I have a Patreon. I'm hoping that I might be able to get some people wanting to buy me a beer, seeing now that I don't actually make that much money on YouTube. So with the Patreon, obviously it's absolutely free for people to send me their game for a review, for a little bit of exposure, because I can use that platform and offer that to people. As I say, I really don't make a lot of money off the games. I think when you looked at the percentage, 90% was coming from those two water pistol videos, and the rest was from board games. So board games really don't offer anything in terms of revenue contribution, really, on the grand scheme of things. But I do it because it's nice to support people, as I say. But it's very time consuming, and I am considering whether it's worth continue doing it for free, or maybe to charge a little bit of money for doing those videos. So I set up the Patreon to give people the opportunity to donate if they wanted to donate. If they saw value in me reviewing their game and they were, getting a bit of return from it, then perhaps they'd want to donate to that. Unfortunately, that's not really working out in the way that I'd hoped. I haven't actually had a single Patreon yet, so I'm questioning whether to continue doing board games for free. I've been given a few board games, so I've got a few left to do for free, so I'm certainly going to do those. And in the best time that I've got, but I'm really questioning the direction, the types of videos as a result of this, and how much time I can realistically give to it. But maybe with Patreon, some of you may think, hang on a minute, he's putting in all this time and offering all this help in reviewing new games, and he's not really making any money. He's doing this, and we could buy him a beer. So you may want to head over onto Patreon. I'll leave the link in the description below, and you can buy me a beer by clicking the join button. It offers £3 a month on that one, so you could click join, do £3 a month, and then cancel it, and just buy me a single beer, or you could let it go, keep going because you enjoy the videos. There's other ways to monetize. So you can now do memberships as well. So I'm looking at this as an option of setting up custom perks and things like that. So very soon you may be able to become a channel member. And I can add additional perks in that for doing that. So it may be if you want a free review, obviously reviews of board games are absolutely free. But if you want to be prioritised for a specific date, maybe that could be a perk. So I could look at things like that for memberships. But otherwise, that's it. I hope that was helpful. I will keep updated on these types of videos of how my channel is looking in terms of monetization. If there's any changes, I will obviously upload that video. But I hope that demystifies the understanding of how much people actually make on YouTube, certainly how much I'm making. But I managed to attain that in the space of a month. As soon as I got subscribed, as soon as I got monetized, that then became a factor. So there you go.